Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoop, here with a different kind of video today. I'm going to do my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time, gens 1 through 7. I might break it down into generations later, but this is overall my favorite Pokemon of all time, top 5. And starting off, as you can see on screen, with Greninja, my boy Greninja here, introduced in Generation 6. Greninja is awesome. Its design is by far the coolest, maybe the coolest of all time. It's a frog, it's a ninja, it's, look at it, it's making a shuriken in its hand. Damn ninja star. But yeah, basically it's just a giant ninja frog. Has the cool little, bubbles on its elbows and knees. It's got a tongue that wraps around its neck as like a scarf. It's extremely long tongue. It's like not one of the more complex designs. It's pretty simple, which is how I like them. That's a common theme here. Simple designs that just look really cool. And as soon as I saw Greninja's like evolved form, final form or whatever. Let's see, I started off actually with Chessman in XY, eventually beat the game, started over, got Froakie, Frogadier, and then the motherfucker evolved into a Greninja. And I thought I found a new favorite Pokemon, but when I narrowed it down, it just hit top 5, and is number 5 obviously. It's designed super cool. It's even got a evolved form called Ash Greninja, but still not as cool as regular Greninja. Its shiny form is even cooler. It's black with a dark red tongue. Fucking cool as shit. Competitively, it's pretty badass. It's got a hidden ability called Protein, which makes all of its attacks stab, same type attack bonus, which makes it extremely strong. Boosts its power by 50%. And gets access to a wide variety of moves. And has a lot of tutor moves abilities, so it can get things like Gunk Shot and stuff. Pretty sick mon. I don't know if, exactly what it could be based off of. Most Pokemon are based off of things. Maybe there's a ninja frog or something in the world. I know quite a bit about frogs, but a ninja frog, I don't think. Maybe just tossed them together or something. But yeah, Greninja is a water dark type, fully evolved with an ability called Protein. Makes it super competitive, or viable and competitive Pokemon. And has one of the coolest designs of all time. No nostalgia associated with this mon. Like I said, it's a newer mon, Gen 6 one, so nothing really like that. Like say Charizard would be, or Zapdos or something, or even like a Suicune or something like that. Just naming some mons that barely missed off on the list because they were mostly there for the nostalgia feeling that it gave me. But yeah, Greninja is my 5th favorite Pokemon on the list, and we'll move on to number 4 now. Number 4 on the list, Garchomp. It's the coolest dragon I've ever saw in my life. Once I got into competitive mons in Gen 6 and stuff, this thing just showed off tremendous power. I love its design. It's basically a hammerhead shark that walks on land and stuff, and has these cool scythes and some spikes, which make it a dragon, I guess. It's just a shark to me, but by far one of the coolest mons ever. It's my fourth favorite for a reason. So you're gonna hear me say that a lot. It's by far the coolest. It's got the coolest design. This mon's so strong, stuff like that. But don't let me over exaggerate or anything like that. It's my favorite, my personal opinion of my fourth favorite mon here. It's fucking stands up on two legs. It's got giant scythes. It's got a tail that looks like it would knock your fucking head off, and it's a hammerhead shark dragon that lives on land. Tell me what's not to like. Please tell me in the comment section what's not to like. Also has an evolved form, not quite like Ash Greninja. This is Mega Evolution, Mega Garchomp. Its scythes get even, bigger, more what's the word? More evolved scythes that like actually can just stick into the ground, not just off its arm like Batman, but like fucking scythes as hands. Pretty sick mon in my opinion. Competitive wise, I don't know about gens 4, 5, but in gen 6 and 7, gen 7 meta is still formulating in my opinion. Gen 6, this thing was amazing. Swords Dance set, Sub Swords Dance Salic Berry set, Rocky Helmet Rough Skin set was a nuisance for some huge threats like Mega Sizzle, huge threats like Talonflame. Scarf sets catch things like Mega Alakazam off guard, catch a Mega Manectric off guard, etc., etc. And I noticed, like I said, when I first saw this mon, it was X and Y, and so it said its entry said when it folds up its body and when it folds up its body and extends its wings, it looks like a jet plane. It flies at sonic speed. That's X's entry. Y's entry was it flies at speeds equal to a jet fighter plane. It never allows its prey to escape. It never allows its prey to escape. How you getting gone? Tell me. It never lets its prey escape. You can't. You're dead. Anyways, Garchomp's awesome. Dragon ground type. Obviously got a 4 times weakness to ice. But like I said, all of these mons, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, are based off its design and how much I use it. Design was the most important thing for me. If I don't like its design, I probably wouldn't use it, no matter how good it is. Unless it's absolutely necessary for a team. But yeah, by design, Garchomp. Even by usage and viability, Garchomp is by far my 4th favorite Pokemon on the list. I don't think okay, Pokemon have a shiny thing. Like I said with Greninja, its shiny form is black. It has dark red tongue or whatever. Garchomp's barely changes. It's just like a dark dull bluer, like darker blue, but it's kind of dull instead of like a shining blue. And its Mega Evolution's like a purple pink, which kind of sucks. Like Swampert sucks and Scizor sucks when it comes to shinies, in my opinion. Don't get triggered, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess that's about it for Garchomp. I really love this Pokemon. A lot of people already knew that this thing was probably going to be on the list, and probably knew that it would be on the list. I guess. I guess there's nothing else to say. So we'll move on to number 3. Number 3 is Scizor. First of all, I just want to say 2 things. This thing evolves from Scyther using a metal coat, and turns from a green flying bug with scythes to a red flying bug with iron fucking pincers just wants to cut your head off. And secondly, this was in 3 generations, generation 1, 2, and 3, I had never evolved or leveled up a Pokemon to level 100 until I got a Sizzle, and I was like, this thing is going to be the strongest Pokemon ever to exist. I leveled it up to level 50, to level 100, and I was so satisfied. Anyways, it's got a fucking metal exoskeleton. It's red, which is badass. It's shiny. It's the ugliest shit I ever saw. It had a pretty cool entrance into the anime, in my opinion. And basically just it's most certainly my favorite Pokemon in Generation 2. And like I never did use it until I played Emerald, but I always thought it had a cool design. And then when I used it in the game, it's just so powerful. And then when I come back in X and Y, Oris, OU, and stuff like that, it was just one of the staple Pokemons on OU teams. It has a Mega Evolution, which was the staple, but regular was still pretty viable. Choice Band set, Swords and Ant set, Roost Defog set. Has a really cool design, in my opinion. Bug types are probably my favorite types. Maybe tied with fighting types, I'm not real sure. I would have to, that's a video for another day. Or a topic for a video for another day, I guess. But yeah, all around, cool mon. And very deserving of the number 3 spot on my list. Now, there was some, it was really hard to put it at number 3, but my next 2 favorites were just, so hard to put any lower than 1 and 2. I guess that's it. Notable thing for Scissor, and with me, I always name it Iron Lock because it's got pincers that can just lock its prey into position. It's Steel type. Steel and Iron goes together, and Iron Lock is the Iron Lock MMA is the team I train with. So I always thought that was a cool nickname for it. But yeah, that's gonna be it. We can move on to 2 now. And number 2 on my list is Primate. It's a Gen 1 mon. Most of my love comes from Generation 1, but Primate expanded. Like, I kind of lost love for some of the other mons throughout the seasons, throughout the generations, I should say, because of there was other mons that could take its place. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like Dragonite, and then Salamence and Garchomp, and Garchomp taking the places, my favorite dragon. But Primate has always been my favorite fighting type. Its design was awesome. Basically a little furry, fucking little angry monkey, basically. That's what it is. And its power comes from rage, so that's pretty cool. It's kind of like the Hulk and a little monkey Pokemon. But yeah, I saw this thing, and I don't like in the anime. I remember watching it. Basically, so it was fucking with Ash. Took his hat, beat up his Charmander or something like that. Ash eventually, was trying to get it trained. Took it to a tournament, the Grand Prix, and it just didn't like. It just didn't like Ash, and then Ash tried saved it from falling or something, and kept his faith in it and stuff like that. You know how Ash is. And then Primate kind of looked at him with tears in his eyes, and the motherfucker got up. He beat the shit out of all the Pokemon, all the other fighting types, Machamp, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, etc., and he won the Grand Prix. And I was like, that's the coolest mon in the world. Outside of my number 1, of course. We'll get to that in a minute, though. Yeah, I caught Mankey anytime I could, evolved into Primate. And like I said about the other mons, I talk about their competitiveness. This mon's okay. It's never excelled in like competitive mons, I don't think. Which, of course, I didn't play till XY, and of course, it did not, just like never used or whatever by Smogon tiers, and obviously hardly ever see it in VGC, if ever. But most of, as I've said, most of these favoritisms comes from their design, and this has one of the coolest designs. Like, it's just like an angry pig monkey, furry. It's simple and just it's so perfect. The Gen 1 mons definitely had the best designs, I think. That's just my opinion, though. And Primate's always been there. I love its name, too. Prime Ape. Like Prime Time, Deion Sanders, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Obviously a pun on Primate. It's obvious. But yeah, basically a pig monkey. And then it's always full of rage and stuff. Really cool design. It was cool in all. Every time it was shown in the anime, it was pretty cool. Haven't actually read the entire manga, so I can't really talk about that much. But yeah, I've built some cool teams around it in XY and some in Oris even. It's not the greatest, outclassed by some other fighting types, but it's just got the special place in my heart, so that if I can use it, then I'll definitely use it. Yeah, so I guess that's it for Primate, and we can move on to number 1. Okay, and my number 1 favorite Pokemon here is Alakazam / Mega Alakazam. But obviously, Alakazam came first, and it's by far one of my favorite Pokemon. It's got some little like fox-like. Okay, I don't even know how to word this. Fox-like features. He's obviously telekinetic, which telekinesis was always cool growing up. He's got 2 spoons, fucking awesome. Armored a little by design. He's by far the coolest Pokemon ever created. And then you dive into his biology and stuff, and he's just got like unlimited memory. He remembers everything from birth, and his IQ is like 5,000, something like that. I think the only other mon that's pretty even close to being as smart as this mon is like Metagross and Slowking or something like that. But yeah, Alakazam has always been my favorite Pokemon ever since Pokemon came out, I guess. I don't exactly remember like when its first appearance in the anime was, but I remember whenever I started playing and I saw an Abra, and I was like, that's the coolest little looking thing I've ever saw in my life. And I couldn't catch it. It disappeared. And then as I grew older, it had a move called Teleport, and it would always use it, and it would just couldn't catch it for the longest time. And then I got older, more mature. Started playing the games again, and like I played Gens 1 through 3, and always had an Alakazam. And then, I didn't play Gen 4 or Gen 5, picked back up in X and Y. Alakazam had a fucking Mega Evolution. Are you fucking kidding me? Just even cooler. It's one of the descriptions in, I think, Oris? Maybe? Maybe it's Sun and Moon, but it says its power's been like converted 100% into psychic energy or telekinesis or something like that, and it has lost all strength in its muscles, which kind of makes sense because it just sits there with its hands up, its legs crossed, and 5 spoons in the air. It's really amazing. And it's always had some pretty cool abilities. It's always been viable in competitive battling, as far as I know. Like I said, I didn't play competitive Gens 1 through 3, and didn't play 4 or 5. Didn't get into competitive Mon till Gen 6. But looking back on maybe like Pokeaim and some other tournament stuff, looks like Alakazam was always pretty viable, which of course I didn't know that. I liked it for its design. I liked it for its basically its design and the Abracadabra Alakazam stuff, the magic. Big fan of magic growing up, magic tricks, card tricks. I watched a lot of different TV shows where telekinesis was cool, move stuff with your mind. A big Star Wars fan, so telekinesis is almost like the Force. So yeah, that's pretty much why I love Alakazam. Not to mention it's got one of the coolest designs. The only bad thing about Alakazam was basically you had to have a friend to trade your Kadabra with, and then you would both. Well, say I traded a Kadabra for a Kadabra, I would gain his Kadabra. It would transform into Alakazam. Then he would get mine, and it would evolve into an Alakazam. And then we'd have to trade back to get. So I'd have mine, and he'd have his. But I guess that's not necessarily important. But that that we'd have to trade back. But yeah, you had to trade to get him to evolve, kind of like Gengar, kind of like Machamp. But yeah, always been a fan of Magic, so just naturally love Alakazam. It's most certainly my favorite Pokemon, always will be. It's my mascot. It's what I base all my usernames on. If it's Pokemon related, it's Zamcrow. Obviously comes from Alakazam. But yeah, I believe that's about it. So if you like, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Catch you an Alakazam or an Abra, evolve it. You'll love it. See you guys.